All right, everybody. So now this is the weekly rapid fire discussion for Week 12. We're gonna go ahead and go through our projected picks. Tony's gonna go ahead and read off the teams and the matchups, and we're gonna go ahead and go with our winners.
All right, first one's going to be Dolphins and Browns.
Dolphins and Browns. I believe Cleveland won last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they won last week. They're starting to gain a little bit momentum. It sucks that Myles Garrett is out. Because I mean that guy was having a huge year this year. I think he was the league leader in sacks, I believe, where he was close. Miami, like I said, I say this every week. They're a different team with Fitzpatrick. They're just a different team. They actually played well against Buffalo last week. They actually put up a good fight. But I have the Browns continuing their winning ways, and they should beat Miami this week. So I'm going with Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm with you on Cleveland. They still have a weird kind of curvy, sketchy route to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they have a lot to play for. I think this is the week that OBJ goes off. Finally, he's gonna have that Mayfield connection. I still see Jarvis being involved into it. Crazy though is Njoku is now coming off of IR.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not playing this week, but that's someone to watch out for coming back now for this playoff run. But yeah, I got the Browns.
Lions versus Redskins.
Redskins they're just an abysmal team. They're not good. I know they have Dwayne Haskins and they got McLaurin, and they have that whole Ohio State thing going on. But they're a bad football team. Detroit is kind of interesting to watch them. They're playing Jeff Driscoll, a guy I haven't seen in college since he played at Florida. It's actually kind of funny because I used to talk to my buddy about him. But I don't know if Matt Stafford's playing this week or not.
It's Driscoll.
He's going to miss another week. Even without Matt Stafford, they still have a bunch of talent, way more talent than Washington has. So I fully expect Detroit to win the game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Washington's not really playing for too much right now. They were actually chanting when Dan Snyder was out on the field last week, sell the team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they
He needs to, though.
Yeah. So they want him out of there, but yeah, I'm going with Detroit. Driscoll. A lot of people weren't aware of Driscoll.
Right.
He put up a pretty solid game last week.
He did,
especially in fantasy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll ride with Driscoll again this week.
Raiders at Jets.
This one, I've been going back and forth on. I can't get a good feel for it. I know the Jets only have one win, and the Raiders are. I hate to say it. I mean, they're a good football team. They're a solid football team. They do have some concerns, in my opinion, on defense. They can't really stop the run. Joe Mixon was giving them fits last week. But I have a weird feeling that the Jets are going to win this game, and Sam Darnold's going to have a good game. I don't hope that happens because I have the Raiders' defense in fantasy, but I just can't get a feel for this game. I'm gonna lean with the Raiders. I think the Raiders win the game, but I think it's gonna be a close one.
Okay, I was gonna say we need to stop picking the same teams because this week I have the Jets going ahead and pulling
Your
the
upset pick?
Yeah, no, I really wouldn't call it my upset pick, but I have it as the Jets. And no hate. But they have pulled out a couple of the Raiders have pulled out a couple wins that were really close. I think the Jets this week are kind of just we need to go in there and get another W. I can see Crowder having a nice game. I think Le'Veon has his really one of his better games this year, especially with the way that Mixon went up against the Raiders. So I'm going with the Jets.
Cool. Giants at Bears.
This is another weird one because I did a little bit of research on Daniel. Is it Daniel Jones? Yeah. Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes.
I did a little research on him, and The guy is a good road quarterback. He only had one bad game on the road, and it was against the New England Patriots. All his other games on the road, the guy's balled out. He's had like 3 touchdowns, no picks, or 4 touchdowns and no picks. The Bears are a team they have the arrow pointing down. They're trending down. They have a lot of questions at quarterback, as well as other positions on that team. And then Khalil Mack. I mean, the guy's been a no-show this year. You know, after that crazy year he had last year, I mean, last week he registered no tackles, no sacks, no nothing. Like, it's like the guy wasn't on the field. So, at this point, I believe Trubisky's going to play. I guess he had a hip pointer, but he's going to play. But the Giants are coming off a bye. I think Saquon got healed. I expect Saquon to have a big game. He needs a bounce back game from what he's been doing the past few weeks. So I'm gonna take Danny Dimes and Saquon to go into Soldier Field and win the game.
Going with the Bears on this one. I think Allen Robinson will have a really good game this week. Montgomery, I'm not too sure how he's looking because he's still kind of borderline. Cohen had a really nice game last week,
Yeah, he did.
which was surprising.
It was encouraging to see too.
Yeah, because this dude, I mean, he has the talent to be a solid RB2, if not an RB1, especially with, I mean, they had this dude last year playing slot, playing receiver. They had him also punt return, which I think he's doing right now as well, and running back. So, I mean, it's really good to see because at the beginning of the year, he was looking like his days were kind of numbered in Chicago as well.
Yeah.
I think this defense will go ahead and pick it up. I don't think that Evan Ingram's back this week, and I know, he's out. I know Sterling has been taken off of the protocol, but I don't think he's playing this week either. I think with Saquon, we don't know how healed up he is. He did have last week off, which was beneficial for them. It sounded like they're not going to go ahead and shut him down, even though they're not really playing for too much right now.
No, they're not.
I see the Bears, though, taking this one and winning.
Panthers at Saints.
The Panthers at New Orleans. I'm probably going to ride with New Orleans. I think New Orleans is starting to hit full stride. I believe they went to Tampa Bay last week and they won the game, right? Yeah. So and I think they defensively pretty much shut down Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay didn't really do too much. I think they only had like 17 points. But Carolina, that's another team that's going to have questions to answer in the offseason with Cam Newton and what they're going to do going forward. So I expect Christian McCaffrey's usual game. I expect him to go out, ball out, have like 30 fantasy points, have a good game, but in a loss. So I expect New Orleans to win this game and beat the Panthers tomorrow.
Yeah, Panthers defense. I mean, they're okay. You know, they're not anything great, but you got Kamara, you got Breeze, and you got Michael Thomas. Yeah, that's a whole lot to game plan for, right? I mean, Latavius Murray's still in there. He's kind of went to more of a decline, especially after last week because Kamara had that breakout game. He's starting to go ahead and reestablish himself as that only back in that field. I'm going with New Orleans on this one.
Seahawks at Eagles.
This is gonna be a good game. Philadelphia had an abysmal game last week. It was just weird the game they had with the Patriots. It wasn't a lot of scoring. It was more of a defensive game, but it was just lackluster. I feel like from both sides. So, I expect this game to be an up and down game. I think Philly's gonna come out. They're gonna play well. They're gonna play better than they did last week. I think they're gonna put up a lot more points than they did last week. Wentz is gonna play better, but I don't think they'll win the game. I think it'll be close. But, you know, when games are close and you're going up against Russ, he's going to find a way to stick it to you at the end. So I'm taking Seattle in a close one, but it's going to be this one might be the game of the day. So I'm going Seattle.
I think the spread on this one's like -1 to
Is
Philly.
It? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Philly's favored?
By 1. I think they're at home, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How they get favored? Wow.
By 1. Probably the home field.
That's
But yeah, they're only favored by 1 point. So it's not like it's not even a pick 'em, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm going with Russ as well. This dude, they're coming back off a bye week. The only thing that kind of is questionable on both teams is that Alshon may not play again, but Ty Lockett may not play. But you still have DK Metcalf, and you still have Josh Gordon, you still have Chris Carson. You still got a lot of weapons just with Russ and his legs also.
And your boy Hollister.
Yeah, yep, and Hollister. I need all the touchdowns to be thrown to Hollister this week. No DK, no Chris Carson, maybe Josh Gordon, whatever. But yeah, Seattle. I'm going with Seattle.
Buccaneers at Falcons.
This is a game where Atlanta's been playing well. I think you actually called it last week, which I give you credit for. You made a hell of a pick. I didn't see that. I don't know where this Atlanta team came from, to be honest. Like, Atlanta came out to buy a completely different football team. This is the team that should have came out in the opening season. So I don't know if they're fighting for Dan Quinn to save his job. They love Dan Quinn that much, but this has been a completely different football team. I'm not going to go against them this week. Like I said, Tampa Bay's a roller coaster. You don't know what you're going to get each week. I think they'll have a better offensive game. I think Mike Evans, Godwin, Jameis, I think they'll put up nice offensive stats, but they'll lose. Going with Atlanta.
Yeah, that Tampa Bay. I mean, this one, something's telling me Atlanta's not going to win this one. It's just telling me that something's going to happen this week, and what we seen was just a flash in the pan, and I'm hoping not. But I think against this Tampa Bay secondary, no Austin Hooper, no Mohamed Sanu. Calvin Ridley is gonna go ahead and show you why he was chosen to be that wide receiver number 2 and come up underneath Julio. I think Julio will still have a good game, but I think Ridley will have another better game than Julio. Man, I kind of hate to say it though. I think that Tampa Bay is gonna somehow they're gonna be on this roller coaster, and something's just going to happen.
I can see that. Can't rule out Tampa Bay. They're a roller coaster, definitely.
Broncos at Bills.
Those good old Buffalo Bills, man.
Let's go ahead and let's hurry up and get this part over, man.
Denver impressed me last week. They really impressed me.
Philip Lindsay show.
Yeah, they went to Minnesota and they should have won the game. To be honest, I mean they were in the red zone and just couldn't punch it in. Like we were watching it live, and these guys just couldn't get it in. They couldn't get in the end zone when it counted to win the game. So I don't know. I wonder if that Denver team is going to show up this week. I hope so, because of what we got going on. But if I had to pick a winner, I'll probably pick Buffalo to beat Denver this week in a close one. I think Denver plays well again, but they lose.
It was crazy because they had a stat. It was a statistic on there that before halftime was over, right at the beginning of the second half, it said that when a team had trailed by as much as the Vikings were trailed by going into the second half, 0-99.
Oh my God!
There had never been a team before ever to mount that comeback. It was 99 times that has happened, and 0 teams had won.
So Minnesota was the first.
Minnesota is the 1%.
Damn, that's wild.
On that stat.
That's crazy.
That was crazy for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got to kind of look at it like, okay, where are we going?
It was kind of like the 28-3, huh?
Ain't nobody talking about that, man. It's kind of like how you guys lost to Seattle.
28-3, my boy.
That's all right.
Steelers at Bengals.
Cincinnati hasn't won a game yet this year, and I don't know if they will. That's the killer part about this. Mason Rudolph's going to play. He got fined, but he's going to be active. He's going to be on the field. I think Connor's questionable, right?
No, he's out.
Oh, he's out. Connor's out. I mean, if Cincinnati's going to win the game, it's going to be this week. Yeah, I mean, I think they possibly have a chance of winning against Pittsburgh. I don't expect them to. I don't have enough faith to take them as an upset. I'm gonna roll with Pittsburgh, I guess.
This is garbage versus litter at this point. Yeah. This game. I mean, it's all the same. Oh man. Well, there's no Juju, no Connor. I think Boyd is playing this week, but I think his target share just went down something horrible. Joe Mixon, surprisingly, has been putting up numbers, but this Pittsburgh defense is fully there.
Turnover machine, yeah.
So Minka's there. That dude's ball hawking
yeah.
right now. I'm gonna say that.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Pittsburgh's defense is gonna win this game.
Right. Somebody got to win.
Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick and T.J. Watt is gonna go ahead and win this game.
Jaguars at Titans.
This is another one. I mean, this is just. Pull out a corner and flip it. Heads Jaguars, tails Tennessee. Man, I'm confused. I really don't know. I mean, Foles is back. I don't really know how I feel about that. A lot of fans are upset and they want Minshew still to be playing. So,
yeah.
Tannehill, I really don't believe in Tannehill. But they're the home team. I'm gonna take Tennessee.
Yeah, I was hoping you were gonna say Jacksonville. Only reason why I'm going to say Tennessee is if Derrick Henry can go ahead. Because this Jag team, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. This Titan team, it's not bad, it's not good.
Right. It's just unknown.
It's just kind of like, okay, Nick Foles, he's not bad.
Right.
But he's not good. Tannehill, he's not good.
Right.
But he's not that bad.
Right.
Right, you don't really know with Tannehill who his number one receiver is, which is kind of weird. Delaney Walker is out of the boot now, but I don't think he's gonna play. That's your boy, man.
Good
that's your boy.
I traded him.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put all the faith into Henry.
Yeah.
And if they can get him started early. He'll have a good game.
Henry versus Fournette. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. But Fournette, I mean, he kind of went down last time he played.
Yeah.
In his production.
Yeah, he hasn't really been killing like he has like a couple.
But we need that. We need that.
Yeah.
we need
definitely.
that. So,
most definitely.
So we're gonna go Titans.
Cowboys at Patriots.
This is gonna be a good game, and this has potential to be game of the week. The Patriots have been struggling offensively, and we all know how good that defense is. The defense has been shutting teams down. Dak, I'm on the record of not liking Dak. I didn't think he deserved the money. But what he's doing this year is he's pretty much I'm eating crow. You know what I mean? Like Dak has been the guy's been balling. You know what I mean? I can't hate on the man no more. I gotta be real. You know what I mean? The dude, the boy he's playing this year, he deserves his money. So, but they're going up against Bill Belichick in Foxborough. And I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be a good game, but I think it's going to be too much to overcome. I mean, Bill Belichick's going to have that defense ready to play. You know what I mean? Brady's going to be ready to play. It's going to be an entertaining football game. But I have the Patriots beating the Cowboys, and Cowboys starting to panic after this week with the whole playoff scenario and everything, especially if Philadelphia wins. So I'm taking the Patriots.
I think if Dallas gets too far behind, or even I think if they get down by 10 by the half, I think they're going to start panicking a little bit, and I think that's going to be their downfall possibly going into the second half. I can see that because I see them if they are down, leaning on Dak like they have been. It's not a secret. When they've been playing from behind, it's always Dak that's going ahead and trying to bail them out.
Right.
You have one of the top corners in the whole league in Gilmore. That defense and that coverage scheme is just crazy. You know, that front end. I don't. If they can contain Zeke and make them go ahead and beat Dak, or have Dak try to beat them, they're gonna win. And they're at home. Yeah, I'm going New England.
Like Stephen A. says with the Cowboys, what can go wrong
will go wrong. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Packers at the 49ers.
This is another game of the week type of game. This is going to be an interesting game. The Niners struggle against running quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers he's crafty, he's sneaky scrambler. Like, he'll do just enough to hang around to find somebody down the field and hit him. The Niners D-line is elite. I think at the end of the day, they're going to tee off. They're going to get to Aaron Rodgers all day. He's going to be frustrated. But a lot of this game is going to come down to whether the Niners can run the football, and if they can't, can Jimmy G win the game? You know, and Jimmy G he's had his ups and he had his downs. He has his bad plays, he has his good plays. Last week they had a nail biter against Arizona, which just for years gives the Niners fits, and going forward is going to give them fits with Kyler Murray. But I find this going to be a very entertaining game. I think the Niners will win. And I think they'll win this game pretty easily, to be honest. I think a lot of people have this game being close. I think they win very easily. They set up a big matchup next week against New Orleans, in New Orleans. That one's going to be a huge matchup. No, I think it's Baltimore next week. They got Baltimore next week, then New Orleans.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore next week, then New Orleans. So... But I got the Niners taking care of home field advantage and beating Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I got Aaron Rodgers with this one. You got to go with Aaron Rodgers. This dude's from Cali. He wanted to be a Niner. That didn't happen, but he plays hard every time he comes out here, no matter who he's playing, because he's from out here. So Aaron Rodgers, especially if Adams is healthy. You have Aaron Jones, you have Jamal Williams. They can cause problems. I think Jamal Williams this week is very sneaky pickup in fantasy. I have him. I'm not playing him, but I do feel he is a sneaky option. But yeah, I'm going with Green Bay.
And for our final matchup, Ravens at Rams.
And that brings me to my upset pick of the week.
Really?
My upset pick of the week. It's just that time with Baltimore, man. Like they've been sitting back at home, winning all these home games. They haven't went on the road. They haven't really tested themselves. And it's time. You know what I mean? They're finally getting out the confines of Baltimore, and they're coming way to the West Coast. You know, and I mean, you can't overlook that. You know, I mean, they gotta travel to the West Coast time zone. You know what I mean? It's different playing from east to west. You know what I mean? It's a different feel. So I have the Rams winning this game, and I think they're going to win this game on the legs of Gurley. I think last week they showed the world that the Rams are Todd Gurley, and for them to be successful, they got to give ball to Todd Gurley. So I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Todd Gurley this week, and I think he has a big game this week. I think he shreds that Baltimore defense. I've seen a stat saying that Baltimore defense, they're the defense that blitzes the most in the league. Mm-hmm. That's a problem when you can't get pressure with just your down four and you got to blitz. That's a lot of open field you're leaving out. So I expect, and we know Todd McVay, he's play action, screen, hit Gurley on the screen, and if you're blitzing, that leaves it wide open. So I fully expect Gurley to have a big day and upset the Baltimore Ravens and bring them down to earth a little bit.
You've been saying that for the last couple of weeks now. You've been wrong every single week. I think I think the Rams, even though they have that home field advantage, I think they are going to go ahead and lose. The only thing that you have a really good point on is the fact, and some people don't realize this, right, is that Baltimore's like 3 hours ahead of Cali.
Yeah.
So when it's 5 o'clock in Cali, their body's telling them it's
Nighttime.
8. It's
Yeah.
8 o'clock there.
Yeah.
Your game gets done at 9 here. You're really playing until midnight over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it is that little bit of adjustment. You have that nasty defense with the Rams, Jalen Ramsey. But I mean, he's going to be locking up Marquise. But Marquise hasn't really been too much of an issue for anybody this year. He had his really good game, his breakout game against Miami. But that was about as far as that goes for the pretty much the rest of the season.
Right.
But these tight ends are balling. Willie Snead, he's still doing his thing. Mark Ingram, dude's balling.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing nice. I still think that they go ahead, they game plan for everything that McVay may throw at them. I don't know if they'll blitz that much this game. I mean, at this point, you're leaving up to Jared Goff. You don't really need to pressure Jared Goff too much at this point in the season. But Robert Woods is supposed to be back. Brandon Cooks is supposed to be back. And then you have Kupp, and then you have Everett. So we'll see. I mean, Marcus Peters, this could be a revenge game for him, even though he said, he doesn't have any ill will toward the Rams. I think he's going to go ahead and try to lock up Kupp the best that he can. So I'm going with the Ravens on this one.
Of course.
Of course
you are.
Of course. Thank you guys for tuning into this segment today of At the Office. Be sure to check out all our social medias at Real at the Office on Twitter and Instagram. Also, go ahead and check out our friends over at Red Pill Station on their Instagram and their YouTube. Make sure you go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Any comments on what you guys would like to go ahead and see on our next segments coming up will be greatly appreciated and loved. Make sure to go ahead and check out Red Pill Station's YouTube as well. Like, comment, subscribe over there, and make sure you go ahead and hit that bell notification so you know every time we post a new segment.